So a little update on the Dallas ice storm water mitigation that I'm doing myself since the insurance companies have never shown up. So what I did is I took apart this wall because the insurance adjuster told me that there was water in this wall, which means that there could potentially be mold in there. So I went ahead and removed this panel. I did find some mold along the bottom and right around here, and some mold just a little bit here. It wasn't very much. So I got my water bottle here with bleach water, 1 part bleach, 9 parts water, as suggested for mold extraction and mold eradication. And I soaked everything in here. I soaked the drywall, I soaked the wood, and then I got my handy dandy brush right there, and I scrubbed all that mold. There wasn't very much, but I scrubbed it just to make sure that it got washed away and saturated with the bleach. You got to be careful because if you have these outlets, make sure that the power's turned off, that you turn your circuit breaker off. What I'm going to do next is, this is a 2 foot by 2 foot because Home Depot sells 2 foot by 2 foot pieces of drywall. How convenient. So much easier than having to have a truck and bring a whole 4 by 8 or something. So I got 2 pieces of 2 by 2 drywall. I got a 2 by 2 piece here taken out, found a little bit of mold. So next I'm going to take 2 by 2 off here, and then I'm going to remove that, and then I'm going to see if there's any mold in there. Hopefully not. But if there is, then I'll go ahead and bleach it, scrub it, and dry it with my drying fan. I rented it from Home Depot. And then if there's 2 compartments here, by the way. See that 2 compartments here? There's 2 compartments here. So if I find mold in one and not the other, then I'll do this 2 by 2, I'll scrub it, clean it, dry it, and I'm done. If I find mold in both, then I need to do another 2 by 2 over here to make sure that these are clean. The water didn't come out here. The water came out over here. This is where the water came out, right here. So I want to check this compartment in the wall and make sure. I did look up in here, up inside the wall. There was nothing there. So I want to make sure this is clean, this one is clean, and then I can use the 2 by 2s to replace this wall, screw it in, and then I'll spackle it and then repaint. You can see the original sheetrock screws are still in here, so I'll extract those before reinstallation. So, and then spackle. Just a few weeks ago, I painted this whole room before the ice storm because I was renovating as I moved in. And, well, actually I renovated right before I went back to Washington State and Silicon Valley, got my stuff and came back home to Texas. And, yeah, so I bought 5 gallons of this paint, so I got plenty of paint to fix it up, and I got plenty of spackle from when I was renovating. So I'm good to go on that front. But I will give you guys an update later. This is how you do it, though. Take the wall off, check for mold, use the bleach water, spray it in there real good. Get that scrub brush, scrub it out, and then get that fan and put it on there until it's completely dry. Doesn't matter how long it takes, let it get completely dry. You don't want any water left in there. Remove those screws, put the patch in, screw it in, spackle paint. That's how we do it here. So, if you've got any questions, leave a comment below. I know this isn't the most exciting video in the world. I have another channel I'm starting called Brewology, all about brew and beer. That's much more interesting. Maybe do one about science. That's more interesting. I just want to be as much help as I can to people in Dallas who may be left behind by their insurance companies or maybe without insurance, to know how to do this stuff. You can totally do it by yourself. If you ask, how did I get this perfectly square piece? I actually held the new piece of drywall up. I suspended it so that it matched the bottom of this piece because there's a space here like there should be. I suspended it equally, and then I got you can use a razor or a pencil and then score the wall where it needs to be cut. And then I went ahead and got these handy dandy razor knives here. And I just kept scoring and scoring the wall and cutting through it until finally I got a point where I could push the razor all the way through into here. And then once I did, I got this hacksaw blade, and I put it in here, and I just cut it out. When I got to here, I just skipped over this piece of wood, and then I just kept going, and then I got the razor and I kept cutting here. I just kept cutting until I got to the wood, and then I got a hammer and I knocked a hole in here and knocked a hole in here, and I just pulled it out. And then once I did that, I used the razor to square these sides on the other sides of the screws here, just to square it up. This was really hard here because this is fiberboard back here. So I squared it all up, squared up the top so that the new piece would slide right in. So if you want to know, those are all the tools you need to do it. That's how I got that perfect square, which will make it really easy to reinstall the replacement piece over there. So yeah, that's how you do it. I mean, anybody can do it. It's not difficult. It's not rocket science. It's literally just a razor knife, a jigsaw blade, and a hammer. That's all it is. So thanks for watching.